views and opinions expressed by the participants on this show are not necessarily those of Stewart Information Services Corporation, Stewart Title, or Stewart Insurance. Before you make any investment, you should seek the advice of your investment advisor or attorney.
Whether you're a real estate broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, everything matters when it comes to real estate. This is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Stewart Title's Bill Knapik and guests open the door to what really matters in owning, buying, and selling real estate. And now, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance. Here to inform, entertain, and inspire.
Well, as we continue, let's go kind of, sort of, all the way to Buenos Aires, Argentina, because I know you're out there thinking, what's real estate like in Argentina? Well, we have just the person here today, Maximiliano Pablo Getz. His company is MG&I. He's all the way as a broker owner of a company, MG&I, in Buenos Aires, Argentina. And Max, I got to tell people right off before we go further that apparently you and some of our Argentinian friends happen to be listening or have listened to the show. That's how I got to know you. You came into town for the NAR, and here you are.
Here I am, and thanks for having me, Bill, and it's wonderful to be here. And we were here at the NAR, which was my first experience, and it was fantastic. Some wonderful speakers. Sessions were great. Did some meetings with different people from different countries. So all in all, just a wonderful experience. And now I get to be here with you.
So here you are. But you actually heard the show, and I think some of your friends heard it somewhere along the line, I guess on the internet, maybe YouTube.
We had heard it, myself, some of my friends, colleagues, and so forth, and I thought, I'm going to be in Houston. What better way to kind of put the word out and let people know about Argentina and Buenos Aires than coming on your show?
Well, it'd be nice to broaden the listening base, too, a little bit more, because I know you'll promote it when you go back. In the meantime, Buenos Aires, it sounds like a beautiful place. I know it's a tourist destination. Let's tell people, first of all, let's paint a picture of if someone's sitting there saying, man, I don't know, I've never been there. It sounds nice. I've seen it on TV. Paint the picture of what is Buenos Aires, where you grew up and where you live and sell real estate. What's it like?
Well, I'll preface this by saying that most people are more often than not surprised when they come to Buenos Aires or just Argentina in general. Argentina is the 8th largest country in the world, and we have a very large tourism market. Now, the city of Buenos Aires is very European. It's very cosmopolitan. It's very Italian and Spanish in its flair, which is one of the appeals that it has for North Americans, because it's something which is, to a degree, far removed from the culture and the architecture that the United States might have. By the same token, Europeans also warm to it because it's very similar to many of the cities that you will find in Europe. But in the case of people from the United States and Canada, which is predominantly what we see, we find that they arrive and they become enamored with the culture, the food, the architecture, the people, so much so that we have had, I would say, countless cases of people that met their significant other and married or had kids or decided to stay or brought their family. It's a very welcoming city. It's a large city. We're talking about 3 million people. I would compare it to a New York or a Chicago in the sense that it's a large city. It's a walkable city. There's public transportation. You absolutely do not need a car to get around. Large pockets of different cultures. It's a country that was raised and born of immigration. So it has become a melting pot. Again, not to put too fine a point on it, but a New York or a Chicago.
Well, and you're saying that people are friendly. And I think that's one of the things that you pick up right away when visiting a city. I know when I first came to Houston many decades ago, I felt a warmth right away, a friendliness. And for that matter, I came from Chicago. It was pretty friendly there too, believe it or not. But so people feel that, a hospitality feel.
They do. And I mean, I'm going to be partial because I am from Argentina. I am from Buenos Aires. So obviously I'm not going to be the one to say it's not friendly, but I can objectively say that yes, it is. And it is a common denominator in my conversations with people who would either come on a vacation or come to, a PhD or for work or for whatever, or even investors who are looking for a second home. They love the lax nature of things. You know, they always say the grass is always greener. And as Argentines, we always sometimes look to the north for the order and for the by the book way of doing things. But our international clients really warm to that lax nature of things and the informality of, I'm going to knock on this guy's door and go for a drink or for coffee, and he'll open the door, and he would not be expecting you, but he'll be happy to open the door for you.
And when you say the investors, where are the countries that people come from for the most part to invest in real estate?
Well,
Buenos Aires.
We're having people from all over the world: Europe, the United States, Canada, pockets of Central America. Our particular niche is predominantly the U.S. and Canada and Western Europe as well. And the reality is real estate prices are very low when compared to other world-class cities. And Buenos Aires is a world-class city. I would encourage you to come visit at some point, and you'll see what I mean. You are able to get wonderful pieces of property in wonderful locations within the city at a fraction of the price of what you would in other world-class destinations. And that, I think, is the first box that is ticked with people where they say, wow, I can get a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment for $120,000 in a very good location of the city, and it'll garner resale value. And I see you smiling because
let's rewind that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's rewind it and embellish that, because I was just going to say, let's talk about the price points, Max, and then also give us a quick couple bullet points of, let's say, okay, you said 150,000?
150, okay. Less than that, more than that, but 150 certainly is, I would say, nice. the average of what we get with people looking to just kind of dabble their feet and buy a second home.
So let's say 250, just for this number. We take 250, me or someone else, we find a place, we work with you, give us the bullet points. So from the time that we pick a property, fly out there to see it, you show us around, and we buy it. What are the bullet points of the steps? Maybe they're a little different than here, because I know even between our states, Texas versus Pennsylvania versus, there's steps. So I want to buy a place. What are the couple steps?
There are things which are different, and I'm going to get to one or two of those which are going to be surprising in how different they are. And because of that, we like to say that in addition to, working as real estate brokers, what we do is a lot of hand-holding. We explain the minutia of how things work in Argentina and what to expect at every turn, at every step, because it's very different from what you would expect in other places around the world, maybe most especially the United States or Canada. But to your question, let's say that you fly down to Buenos Aires and we go around shopping for places, and we're out looking at things for, let's say, 1 week. You find the right place that you love. It has a sticker price of $200,000, which, by the way, will get you a very nice 2-3 bedroom, maybe sometimes even a 4 bedroom, or a 1 or a 2 bedroom in a very, very high end area of town. So needless to say, you can do very well with that budget. It's a very, very healthy budget. You would make an offer on that property. Let's say that we want to come in at $210. Assuming that offer is accepted, we move to a second step where all the due diligence is conducted through our office as brokers and also through a notary public. Now, it's worth mentioning that the notary public in Argentina is not the same as the notary public in the United States. In Argentina, the notary public is the last line of defense, and he is the one responsible and charged with property, title, insurance, making sure that you as the seller are who you say you are, and that there's no liens or embargoes, and that as the buyer, I have no risks in buying from you. So he is wholly responsible for that transaction. Once everybody comes together on the particulars, which is where we also kind of come in and say, okay, Bill, you want to spend so much and the seller doesn't want to, go down to that price. You go back and forth, offer, counteroffer, right, with or without furniture, what have you, or a signing date of 20 days, 30 days, whatever that might need. But all things being equal, within 30 days, the signing can take place and you get the keys. Now, there's one thing in the middle that I should mention, which is not small potatoes, and it is the fact that 99% of transactions in Argentina for real estate are handled in cash. And when I say cash, you got to think of Clint Eastwood with a bag of money, plopping it on the table like those Western movies, and the money is counted. Sometimes with a dollar counter, sometimes without. And that speaks to just cultural aspects of how things are in Argentina and the fact that cash has always been king, not just cash, but U.S. dollars, because real estate is valued in U.S. dollars. You will not find real estate in Argentine pesos, which is our local currency, because real estate for us is the silver bullet. We don't have 20-year mortgages. We don't have a whole lot of bank loans, although they are now rearing their heads again. So you pay cash on the barrelhead. So that becomes an interesting proposition for a foreigner who's got some money lying around and wants to invest in real estate. Given that Argentina, once again, is a world-class destination, and let's remember Argentina is the 8th largest geography in the world, and we have beaches, we have skiing, we have wonderful wine, we have the southernmost cities. You can get good resale value, and property value goes up. I always remember Mark Twain, buy land. They're not making it anymore. You buy the property, and over time you have an investment which will gain in value.
Okay, so most of and I would imagine people from other countries are going to be, I'm going to pay cash anyway. But let's say the locals, you serve the locals there, help, I would imagine, buyers and sellers. So how often for them, if I lived in Argentina or Buenos Aires, how often are people that you're working with are taking a loan out? Loans? Is it like that?
We have loans under this presidency, which is now 2 years in. We are seeing more and more loans. But given that Argentina does have a little bit of a mercurial nature about it, the loans sometimes disappear or the rates go up higher than what people can pay. Because you have to remember that the salary, the average salary is in Argentine pesos against loans which are for money that is in dollars.
And then let's take a $200,000 example. Maybe it varies by district or parts of the city, but average property tax on a $200,000 home. You have property tax there, right?
We do. You're going to pay, yes, the property taxes, which we refer to as the city taxes, you're going to think they're woefully low compared to what United States cities might have. But let's say that a one-bedroom property in an affluent location in the city of Buenos Aires, which is Recoleta, just to cite an example, 500-square-foot apartment, that might pay in property tax maybe in the vicinity of $1,000 or $1,100 a year. A year.
Pretty nice.
Yeah. Not expensive.
We're talking with Maximiliano Pablo Getz. I like saying your name, Max, just saying. So many great things. I think people are thinking, I'm interested. 2 words give us a word on weather. What's the weather like? It looks, when I've seen pictures, it's sunny, beaches, things like that.
We've got all 4 seasons.
Awesome.
We're in summer right now, although it's cooler down there than it is here. And I have a bone to pick with Houston about that.
I've had that same bone for years.
But we have all 4 seasons. And for those who are snowbirds, our winters are, again, laughable. If we do Fahrenheit, we do centigrade, but if we do Fahrenheit, our winters never go below, in the city of BA at least, never go below upper 30s or lower 40s.
What's the hottest it gets?
January. The month of January, we can get well into the 102, 105.
Is there humidity?
Yes.
Okay.
Horrible humidity.
Oh, man.
Horrible humidity.
We're familiar with that here in Houston.
It's like here in July. It's basically here in July.
You go. And then what about the food? Tell us a word. You've been here in Houston a couple days. By the way, people who are listening, Max is actually here in the studio, if you didn't pick up on that. But you've been here to Houston now a couple days now, and, of course, you live in Buenos Aires. What's the Buenos Aires food like that we might not be able to get here in town?
Let me first say that this is my second trip to Houston. I love the food in Houston. I think you've got some of the best Tex-Mex I've ever had. And I also have friends who live in Houston, so Houston has kind of a special place in my heart. We are very well known for beef. We export beef, and it's, I think, after soccer or football, whatever you want to call it, and the previous pope who was Argentine, I think that beef is probably what we're best known for, in addition to wine. So anyone who comes to Argentina, one of the things they love to do is go for what's called an asado, which is really nothing more than a barbecue. Very many different cuts of beef. It doesn't stop there, though, because we've got wonderful produce. There's endless farmland, and so we have really, really good produce as well. Our chocolate's not bad either. Our ice cream is not bad. I've had many people from Italy saying, "Hey, man, your ice cream, your ice cream has nothing to envy the gelato in Italy."
Well, and also on your website, I like, and it's evidenced by your visit here to the NAR show and to our show here today. But on your website, I saw where you have their local realty international mindset.
Yeah,
you're interested in the world. You're helping people all over.
Well, I grew up, again, my family was and is from the United States. I am an Argentine fellow. I was born and bred in Argentina, and I went to the international school in Buenos Aires. So I was raised with people from everywhere around the world. You name it, United States, Canada, Japan, China, Russia, places in Africa. And so that really broadened my horizon from a very, very early age. And then to be perfectly honest with you, I didn't find real estate. Real estate kind of found me. It started as a job, which then progressed into a career, and I decided to professionalize it. And the niche I felt was always, helping foreigners, because again, what we do is hand-holding, and it's probably my favorite part of the job, sitting down with someone and explaining the particulars and giving them the peace of mind of, okay, look, Bill, now this is going to happen, and they're going to call us in about 2 or 3. I can't tell you the amount of times someone has said, that's not how it works in the United States, or, that's not how it works in Germany. And so I say, look, we're going to go into a slippery slope if we start on that one, because you take anything you know about how things are done and it goes out the window, because Argentina is its own animal.
Well, Max, people are listening right now. I think they want to reach out to you. Let's tell them how they can reach you.
The best way is my website, which has all of our information, including social media channels, which is mgotz.com, mgotz.com. If they want to email me, it's max@mgotz.com. We have a U.S. number. We have an Argentine number, which has WhatsApp and other
Tell
other
them
channels.
the U.S. number.
U.S. number is 805-253-2388.
Again?
805-253-2388.
And I want to also say you can Google Max and find him on one of the episodes on House Hunters, which is interesting to see that.
Yeah. We were on an episode a couple of years ago, and that was probably one of the single most fun experiences. And I think that
Next to this one,
of course, or up until now.
There you go.
But I do believe that we hold the privilege of being the only licensed real estate professional on that show from Argentina.
Max, the website again is
mgotz.com. That's mgotz.com.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much. An absolute pleasure.
Back from Buenos Aires, a final word with Max Emiliano. Let's pick up where we left off, Max. House Hunters. How'd you get on the show? Because people love that show. People love real estate shows in general, TV or otherwise. But how'd they find you?
One of the legs of our business is we use Airbnb and a few other places for vacation rentals. And so one guest that we had worked for the production company that did House Hunters. So
how about that?
Yeah, it was kind of kismet, I guess. And they asked me, and then just kind of evolved into doing it. And they set up the date and time, and that's how it happened.
So as you plan for 2026 there in Buenos Aires, you made your trip here, and you have big plans for 2026?
We are continuing our work with foreigners because Argentina just continues to be on everybody's lips for many reasons, not least of which there's been a commercial deal struck just a few days ago with the United States. Just people looking to invest and looking to expand on their investments and diversify. It certainly doesn't hurt that we are still in what I could call a buyer's market in Argentina.
In Buenos Aires. And you're the guy to call at your company, which is MGNI.
Website is mgotz.com, mgotz.com. Our U.S. number, if they wish to text or call our U.S. number, 805-253-2388. It's once again 805-253-2388. 2388.
Max, thanks for being with us, and thank you all for listening to Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title. I am your host, Bill Knapik, right here on The Big Show, along with John Bramlett, all of us at Stuart Title, Stuart Insurance. We appreciate you listening. Even if you're in Buenos Aires, that's awesome. Max, it makes me think there may be people in other countries listening to the show just like you did, and they may come on.
For sure. Let's get them on.
Super awesome. Check out the show at stewart.com/radio or Radio Bill. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.